Thank you all for joining online. We would have loved to have you at a physical event, but under the circumstances and in full compliance of the COVID-19 protocols, we are privileged to have this event streamed live, and we are delighted that you could join us from across the country and from different locations across the globe. I want to specifically acknowledge all the men who are logged in today. We salute you. We anticipate to have this event for the next 2 hours and would like to make it as interactive as possible. I encourage you to share your comments and your questions on the chat at the extreme right of your screen. And as this event is being recorded, and in regard to our protocols, I request that you have your microphones muted and your videos turned off for the streaming to stay uninterrupted. International Women's Day is a global day that has been observed for over a century, since the early 1900s. It is a collective day of celebration and a call for gender parity. Over the years, the world has witnessed a significant change and shift in their thoughts about equality, equity, diversity, and inclusion. Though the path to an equal opportunity for women has been long and challenging, I am particularly excited that this year's International Women's Day comes at a time when we all witnessed the momentous election and swearing in of the first female, first African, and the 49th Vice President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris. Slowly but surely, we will get there. I urge you to look around and choose to celebrate a woman or women who strive to be impressive role models in every aspect of life and society around us. Today, we honor and we celebrate every woman. We can all choose to challenge gender prejudices and inequality. A challenged world is an alert world, and from the challenge comes the change. You can be part of this change, and if you believe this, raise your hand and say it, I choose to challenge. Come on, let me hear it. Thank you. We start off this day by celebrating our very own accomplished and outstanding KCB Bank Executive Director for Retail Banking, Mrs. Anastasia Kimtai. Anastasia is an astute career banker with over 20 years' experience in banking and over 10 years of senior management, strategic leadership, and business development. She has championed financial inclusion for customers at the bottom of the pyramid by developing products and services to serve this niche of clientele. Anastasia will be joining us for the panel discussion where she will share more on her leadership journey. But for now, join me in welcoming Mrs. Anastasia Kimtai to give her welcome remarks.
We should all choose to seek out and celebrate women achievement. The path to women equality has been long and a very challenging one, and began in the late 18th century, with women activists fighting hard to equally secure a place and a right to vote. Women have worked tirelessly since then to make sure gender-related conversation and activities are on the rise and are moving to the right direction. We are living at a very exciting moment whereby this has actually taken a center stage, and we expect equity, diversity, and inclusion for women. KCB Group has prioritized gender, diversity, and financial inclusion agendas in alignment with Sustainable Development Goals, SDG. Under SDG 1, no poverty, SDG number 8 on decent work and economic growth, and SDG number 10 on reduced inequality and principles for responsible banking that emphasize on gender diversity and mainstreaming with stakeholders, both internally and externally. The bank has implemented and facilitated projects to support women in business, increase the number of women service providers in the ecosystem, train women employees in leadership, and mentor them to get ready for senior positions when the opportunity arises within the organization. We can all help create an inclusive world. I want to welcome you all for a very engaging and exciting day as we celebrate women in business and in leadership. Welcome and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
With me for the panel discussion are 4 phenomenal women of different ages, from different walks of life, who have chosen to challenge different circumstances and stereotypes in their lives.
Okay. As you all know, KCB is a leading financial institution in East Africa that aim at simplifying your financials to enable your progress. We act as a catalyst for the economic development. As a director of retail banking, I champion financial inclusivity of our customers, be they consumers. This is where your source of income is salary. Be it from the time when you are born, you are a student, you get your first pay, to the time you achieve your self-actualization. Close at home is the story of Ngozi of Gonja, a Nigerian national who was recently appointed Director General of the World Trade Organization. We as ladies in leadership and women in business are living at a very prime time with lots of opportunities. Ladies, let's choose to challenge.
The aspect of it being affluent for my business was basically to make it affordable to everybody. That's first. And then I think sometimes the challenges that we face is basically the way you get your message out to people. As you know, networking is one of the most important or critical areas that you use to be able to convey your message and to meet other women, lovely women like we have met today.
Just the fact of getting LPOs which were above maybe $1 million bob, and you are like 23 years old. I walk into an office and these guys are like, are you sure you're gonna deliver it? I mean, you're so young. I mean, and also the aspect of just being a woman. I mean, just being and I'm like, why? I mean, I'm a young person, I'm aggressive, I can do it. Also the aspect of now, since I'm one of the directors at the county government, is also a very big challenge, because most of my colleagues are around 50 years old. And when you're there, you have all the ideas that you want to give them, and they're like, you know what, you're just young, what do you know, So those are some of the challenges that I go through. But I thank God for that, because it makes me really, really hard. And how do I counter it? Through the resilience.
For 5 months, from March to August, it was a real shock to us and the system, because none of us, our staff, were ever sat at home or didn't know what to do. But we overcame that, and we did lots of seminars for clients and explained to them this is what is going on. We will come out of it, and we tried to do domestic packages when travel did open, local travel. We did a lot of that. When we were also just closed, we held a lot of workshops for clients, thinking let's do something different. Let's just engage our clients in doing something different. It doesn't have to be about travel, but about wellness. So we did all of that. We just held seminars to explain to them how travel will be with airlines. Yeah, we did all of that, and now that travel has opened, we still keep on doing that, so that people are feeling comfortable when they travel and not just feel like, oh, they're only doing it because they want the money. That's not our idea. We kept all our staff. We didn't let anybody go. Unfortunately, weren't able to pay them fully, but we had to reduce it, and we kept everybody. There were a few who opted to take early retirement, but that didn't still stop us, and we still have everybody.
I think I'll start by saying, first of all, you are mother, you are wife, you are sister, you are in-laws, and everybody expects you to be a super lady. I think that's the first starting point. And specifically because talking about myself when I got married, and it's like I was about the fourth person to be married into this family, and the other younger brothers of my husband were already married. The expectation was just too high, and everybody expected you to be in their places, their social function, everything, and looking at how this superwoman can manage. That's from the family. Going to the office, you also need to prove that you are working, you're able to deliver. So balancing work and family initially tend to be a big challenge as I grew through my marriage. The second one is trying to be a super person for everybody, because when you're in a large family, everybody's looking at, it's so natural. People try to look at your downsize. So you're trying to be a super cleaner for your house. You're trying to be a super cook. You're trying to be this best woman, the best babysitter. And you've come from work, being a banker, whereby you're supposed to be there 100%, mind, soul, and spirit. And you're very tired. And you're just trying to juggle everything. And you ask God, is it worth it? And then comes to also opportunities for promotion. Many a times that I had to forfeit because my children were very young. My firstborn and secondborn, by the way, just have a difference of around 9 months. And so I had 2 young babies there, and it's like, there's this very nice opportunity that comes up in Nairobi. I was in Mombasa by then. Wow. And it's like, I had to really speak to myself as a mother and say, Anastasia, I think it's not the right time. And you had to forfeit some of those opportunities so that you can take care of family. And that's the very challenging balancing act for young mothers in careers. But the most exciting thing, I think also we need to keep on encouraging each other, was building the trust in my husband so that he came along and really, really supported me. When it came to social events, I used to walk up to Saturday, and it's like he stood up for me, and it's like, I am here as family. My wife is working. That really, really enabled me to push on and carry on in my career. And he actually became my cheerleader, telling me, encouraging me to go for the next role when it's available. We'll take care of the children. Even my MBA, I did my MBA because at that particular time, the bank actually wanted to upskill the managers so that they can take over senior leadership roles. And I registered for it when my daughter was only 6 months old. And you know what? He gave me all the support. So for the young women in leadership, build the trust and the support mechanism. And after a while, you realize that it can be done. Those are some of the challenges for me as a woman leader. But the very exciting one is when you talk as a manager and you tell the male juniors, I want this to be done. They first look at you, it's like, we're saying that you have to sit up straight and say, I have said this has to be done, and it has to be done by this time. So you need to actually step up and let them know that you're serious and you're demanding for output. I think it's at that point that I actually solidify my leadership and say, you know what? Don't allow anybody to intimidate you. As a leader, when it has to be done, it has to be done, because you're not talking as a woman, you're talking as a leader who has earned that position. Thank you.
I think one of the other things I'd actually say is be confident. Not confident to outrule yourself, but confidence in yourself to know that you can do it. So start and be confident. Thank you.
Right. Anastasia, what advice would you have for young women starting out in their career?
The first and the very important thing is that, please, speak up. Speak up. Raise up your hand. Many a times as young, intelligent women, we like to do the notes and pass it to the next person to speak on your behalf. No, raise up your hand and speak it out.
Thank you very, very much, ladies, for being so open and sharing your lives, your experiences with us. We appreciate you and we celebrate you. Thank you very much. On this International Women's Day, our speaker is Frida Owinga. Frida is a certified business advisor and is currently the Executive Vice President of the Organization of Women in international trade owe it. She's also the founder and director, strategic relationships for Passion Profit for the last 16 years. This is an organization that assists small and medium enterprises to grow their profits to passion.
We can't pretend that the pandemic does not exist. Many people tell me as a speaker, Frida, we are not talking about the pandemic anymore, we are not talking about corona, but the truth is we are, and we cannot pretend that it doesn't exist, because that is the first mistake that we make when it comes to evolving. When it comes to evolving, the first thing you need to do is to articulate your current reality and then articulate your preferred reality before you can move to the new place. Sometimes when you're coming from an existing reality to a preferred reality, we'll need to change 3 things. And the 3 things fall under resources. Number 1, your time. How are you managing your time? That healthy part on your matrix over there, sometimes you're not sleeping enough, you're not eating the right food, you're not exercising. And exercising doesn't have to be hard and sweaty. The only exercise I do is walk around where I live. Find something that fits you. If it is dancing, if it is walking, if it is jogging, if it is swimming, don't try to do what others are doing. Find out what works for you. In aligning your resources, very important, you must align your talent. And I'll give you two teams that you need. You need, first, talent. You must understand what do you need to create that preferred reality that you have on your reality metrics. What do you need for that to happen? What skills do you need? What knowledge do you need? Is there some credentialing that you'll need? I find many times people go for credentials because their friend has gone. I want to do a PhD because I saw so-and-so did a PhD. And those things are very good, but ensure that your credentialing, your skills and knowledge acquisition is aligned to the preferred reality that you really want. So take action. Don't stop or wait until you have arrived at your articulated reality. Act on your personal priorities and your urgencies. Speak up, raise your hand, manage your emotions. Know what triggers you. Know which times you are good to go and which times you're not. I'm not a morning person. So when I come early in the morning, I must make sure I've eaten well, I rested well the night before. Pay attention to little things like that that will make you show up at a 10 every time, so you are not giving excuses. Because in life you can be excellent or you can give excuses, but you can never be both. Affirm what you want, not what you have. All right? Many times we talk about what we want. We talk about what we have. All right? There's no money circulating. What else do we say? Hakuna biashara. All right? So I encourage you to start affirming what you want and not what you have. Access your ideal reality. Access your ideal reality with vision boarding, all right? A vision board is a visualization tool that helps you set clear aspirations and goals for your life so that you can grow and transform yourself into what you have planned. If you're wondering what to do with your business post-COVID or just generally, we do have a free business assessment. If you call me, you can get it from me for free. And if you're looking for a place to get nurtured and to thrive, all we do is business development support services for small business owners. So get out there, increase your visibility, and access new markets. It has been fantastic speaking with you. Thank you.